Hey folks, quick video today. We're going to go over things you're going to need to get started cutting firewood. We're not going to talk about access to firewood. We're not going to talk about where to store your firewood or anything like that. I've shot this video now 3 times and I didn't like either one of them. So I'm going to do it for the 4th time and I'm going to call it quits and be done with it. So, just things you need to get started. Not what I have, but what you need. Okay, number 1, some way to transport that firewood back to your house. We're not going to talk about access to firewood. Maybe you live on your own property like I do and you have access to all kinds of firewood. Maybe you live in town, but you got a relative that has access to wood. Maybe you're going to buy your firewood, whatever. But if you're going to cut your own firewood, you need access or some way to bring it back to your house. Whether it's a truck like I had, T100 back in the day, and I brought it back to my house. I've got a buggy now, a Polaris Ranger, but some way to bring it back. That's the first thing. There's no sense in cutting that firewood if you can't bring it back to your house. Hey, maybe you got a buddy that has a pickup truck. I don't know. Second, well, not second, but just going down the list. Safety gear. You're going to need a pair of chaps. Don't mind my old beat up pair of chaps. These are my chaps. I don't always wear them, but my mama yelled at me on my last video, so you really should wear them. I've got a scar on my leg that says you should wear them. So there's my chaps. I've got my safety glasses here. These are my Carhartt safety glasses. I like those off of Amazon. I think they're like $6 a pair. If they get scratched up, I don't care. I got a pair of gloves. I like this pair from Sam's Club. They come in 2 packs. I think they're $20 for 2 pair, and they last a good while. I mean, you're cutting firewood, you're gonna rip up your gloves, but these are comfortable. They're soft. They get on and off quickly, easily, no problem. And I haven't had them turn real hard if they get wet. So that's another thing I like. So we've got the chaps, safety glasses. We've got the gloves, boots. Don't go out there and cut firewood in some sneakers. Get yourself a good pair of leather boots. I got mine with steel toes in them because I've dropped wood on my feet, toes before. Doesn't feel good. Next, some kind of hearing protection. I like the 3M. I can play my music through my phone. And you can wear earplugs. You can wear headphones, whatever. Something to keep that noise from the next thing on the list here. And that is chainsaws. I like to have 2 chainsaws because you will undoubtedly get your chainsaw pinched. I don't care if you're even a seasoned, firewood cutter, you're gonna get your chainsaw pinched eventually. You don't see a branch bend in a certain way and it gets pinched. So if you get one pinched, the other one can be there to back you up. Or if you're cutting smaller stuff, you can use the smaller saw. If you're cutting bigger stuff, use the bigger saw. That's not rocket science. But with that, you're going to need some way to carry your fuel with you. I've got just a 1-gallon container here for your mixed fuel. It's I think it's 50 to 1. I think that's right. Anyways, it's 2 cycle engine oil. And then you're going to need your bar chain oil. That lubricates your chain on your chainsaw. The track here keeps things running smoothly. You don't want, anytime you got metal on metal, you need some kind of lubricant. So that's your chainsaw. You got your fuel and your oil for your chainsaw. Next is your bar chain or your bar tool. This will open your chainsaw, the cover on it. This will tension your chain. It won't open your chainsaw completely. You'll need different tools for that, but this is the main thing when you're not cutting. Next, you're going to need some way to sharpen your chainsaw. This is a great tool. I think I've done a video on this before. I have this for my bigger saw. Now with a smaller saw, all I have is just the file, which we're going to need something. But if you're starting out new, I would recommend this. It's almost fail safe. You can't fail sharpening your chainsaw unless you really try. So we've got the safety gear, we got the chainsaws, we got the fuel, the bar chain oil, we've got the tools for the chainsaw itself. Next, some way to measure your firewood. I like to use just a tape measure and marking paint, or some way to mark the log so you know obviously how long you're cutting your rounds for your firewood. You don't want to have a 16-inch firebox and cut your logs or your rounds 18 inches. That would suck all day long. So yeah, some way to mark your firewood. There's all kinds of tools, fancy equipment to do that, but some people just use their bar on their chainsaw. They lay their chainsaw down, they look at it, they cut it, lay it down again, look at it, cut it. I like to mark mine before I get busy with actually cutting. Okay, those are the things you probably have to have. Safety equipment, chainsaws, fuel, bar chain oil, some way to measure your logs, some tools for your chainsaw to keep it sharp and to clean it out and upkeep. Now, an added bonus I like to have is a wedge or several. I have several wedges and some kind of hammer or hatchet or something like that for using the wedge. Even if you're not knocking trees down, if you got a log down and you're cutting into it and it bends down, you can put that wedge in there and hit it in and it'll open that cut up and you get your chainsaw out. If you get your chainsaw pinched, wedge works for all kinds of things. Felling trees, getting them to go the direction you want them to go in. Perfect. Again, you don't have to have them, but I would recommend it. And the hammer or the hatchet, something you can hit that wedge into the wood with. Next, I will not cut firewood without this. I wish I had one of these 20 years ago. And that is my picaroon. Love this thing. You got your rounds laying on the ground. There's no reason to bend over. I've made videos on this one before. You swing down, hit your log or your round, and pick it up. You can move logs with it. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. So, yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much the video right there. If you want to get into firewood, you've been thinking about it. Maybe you're going to move somewhere and you've got access to wood, or maybe you've just been thinking about it for a while. Whatever the reason are, I would encourage you to go for it. It can be a lot of work, but if you enjoy being outdoors, definitely go for it. Why not? So, hey, that's the video. I think we covered everything. If I missed something, let me know in the comments. I'm sure I did. My brain's racking right now. Did I forget something? Probably, but you can tell me. So, hey, thanks for watching. Get out there, enjoy the woods. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.